I've had type 2 diabetes for probably close to 25 years. It's been a long struggle. I found out I had type 2 diabetes because I had to go to the bathroom a lot. I was thirsty all the time when I went to the doctor, and of course the doctor said some blood tests that I had type 2 diabetes and I would have to take medication for it. I struggled with it because I just didn't understand it, and as time went on, I went to a couple classes, learned a little bit about what I needed to do, and then I just started working at it. I was diagnosed with diabetes, and my sister was diagnosed basically at the same time. So I tried to encourage her to do the right things as I tried to do the right things. She would never listen to what I had to say, and she ended up losing her a couple years ago to diabetes. She lost one leg, and then a couple years later she lost the other leg. And when I watched her do that, it broke my heart. It was hard to deal with. Well, when I think about my sister, I just think I'm saddened, because I know from my experience that you do have a lot of control over what you do with your body. I know she didn't try to correct her diabetes situation. The diabetes part is not as bad as the after effects, like my legs and stuff like that, because it just, people just don't know that, what they're doing to themselves. They kind of think, I got diabetes, and that's, blame that for everything. I have two sons, and they've just watched me struggle through this and know that I advise them to get checked. I would encourage anybody with diabetes to listen to the doctors and do the best you can. Yeah, before I had to retire, I worked for the railroad, which was a very physical job. And then a lot of climbing, a lot of walking, a lot of heavy lifting and that kind of things. And as the diabetes got worse, and I basically couldn't do the job. In 2005, I started a physical therapy because I had other issues. So I started walking it's easy to do, and it builds you up. Didn't have the strength for a lot of other stuff, but I could walk. When I started walking, I just kind of built off from basically nothing. If I could walk a quarter mile, I was doing well. So I just worked at it, and I still walk a mile or two, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I've lost some weight, but I've lost weight over the years. I'd weigh 300 pounds, and a few months later be down to 200. But then a few months later, I'm back over the 300. I ended up going to an endocrinologist because my regular doctor could no longer control my diabetes. When I was on insulin, I was taking 85 units of insulin a day, and I still wasn't maintaining my sugar levels like I should. So when I went to Dr. Christina, she encouraged me to lose weight. I went to Weight Watchers in 2009. I lost about 70 pounds and got down. I've been about 250 for the last 4 years. And it's just, before I would lose it and gain it back, this time I was able to keep it off. I met people. I had a friend that walked with me for months, and just her and her husband both walked with me, and we just had a good time doing it. I believe the walking, it's not only the physical walking, but it's the companionship and the common goal that also helps you. But you have to work it. Weight Watchers is not an automatic thing. After a year of, actually less than a year of Weight Watchers, I went from 85 units a day to 0 insulin. I haven't been on insulin for 5 years, but I've managed to maintain my blood sugars. Now I'm taking a lot of oral medicine, but at the same time, my blood sugars have been running much better. I believe that the diabetes team, which Dr. Christina heads up, is all the difference in the world for me. There's a whole lot of information out there. There's a whole lot of conflicting information out there. And you need a team that can tell you the difference of what's good, what's bad, what is working, what isn't working. I know when I first got diagnosed with diabetes, I was wondering, different things. How bad is this? You always hear people die from it and all this crazy stuff, and you're like, if you start out when you first get diagnosed and learn to correct your situation and stick to what the doctor tells you, you have a good chance of living a long life with diabetes. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you have a chance of having a shorter life. But what's worse than a shorter life is the life that you live will not be nearly as productive as a life could be if you were to control your diabetes.